In this video, Mike and Nick, the co-hosts of the Rogue Overland Adventure Chat podcast, are hanging out with the perfect bungee at Overland Expo West. And we're going to show you the two baddest Nissans at the event, if not the two baddest Nissans in North America. Hang tight, because you're going to want to see this one.
Here we are in the Nitto booth, Nitto tires. Sweet second gen Xterra. It is a 2017 as I recall. Now I've seen this one online, but I haven't actually walked around it. So this is kind of the first go. So let's see what we have here. So up front, hefty Fabworks bumper. Love their products. Factor 55 Ultra hook. Then looks like we just have a plethora of Baja designs. Lighting up front. I like the amber. I dig that. We've done that on our most recent build. Then the Midland USA antenna up front. I'm digging the Poison Spider vent up here. That is a functional vent. Seen some other Xterras with it. And this is a VK swap. I talked to the owner. It is a VK swap, so I know there is a Titan engine in there. And then the hood pins, that's neat. I haven't seen that before on an Xterra. Not sure what we have here for the lighting, but I do know that's not a factory headlight. As we dive underneath here, let's see. Well, looks like we have a CV boot that we need to repair, but this is a Titan swap. So we have the lower control arms and then the All Dogs Off-Road springs. Get a look there. Boom, All Dogs Off-Road. And then the shocks there. I think those are probably 2.5s, I'm guessing. 2.5. And then the Z71 Off-Road upper control arm. That's real nice. I'm not super familiar with that company. Haven't chatted with them before, but that looks like some type of billet design there. Pretty cool. And you can see a little bit of that engine in there. 1, 2, 3, 4 exhaust outputs on one side, so definitely a V8 under there. And then let's see what we have down here.
After you watch this video to the end, throw a comment below and let us know which one of these Xterras you'd like to rock on the trail and why. Are you digging that V8 power and the IFS suspension, or would you prefer the robustness of a solid axle swap?
Pretty sure that's hefty fab. Skids all the way down. Gotta have that for sure. We'll swing around to this side here. Same stuff over here. Looks like some silicone coolant lines. And then rolling down. White knuckle off-road sliders. You know we dig that. Run them on all our stuff. And just such high quality stuff from them. And then there we go. The Nitto Trail Grapplers. MTs 38 by 13.5 on I'm not familiar with these wheels, but looks like ATI. Nice. I love that shine, that non-painted look. Looks good. I'm gonna call it a raw aluminum look. How about that? So that is a beefy wheel and tire package on this bad boy. I mean, look how much that sticks out outside of the fender. On Conius is similar with the wheels pushed out, and I'll tell you, when you get in the mud, forget about it. Just fling stuff everywhere. And then definitely a little bit of trim in there, just a little bit. I'd be curious to know how well these actually stuff. Looks like he's got the pinch weld hammered back there. I wonder if he can get full stuff on that. Swing up top here. It's got the Free Spirit Recreation tent. I'm not super familiar with them. As you know, we usually run Cascadia vehicle tents, but looks like it's an Odyssey V2. So kind of your hard top type clamshell hybrid there, where it's going to flip up and flip out. So pretty sweet. Morning, dude.
Morning, how's it going?
Good. And then let's jump down here. Alcan spring. That's what a lot of us are running when we have the highly modified Nissans. They make a great product. And then we'll swing under here. The ARB diff cover and some big old beefies out back as well. I'm not a big suspension guy, but again, looks like probably 2.0s to me. And then you've got the shackle here. Not sure whose shackle that is off the top of my head, but nice and stout. You've got that middle support there. And then again, pretty much deleted all the factory plastic, pushed all this back, trying to make those big old 13.5s fit in there. 38 height. That's amazing. I mean, I've seen a lot of Nissans, as you guys know, and I've yet to see one on a second gen on 30 on 38s. Yeah, let's take a little peek. Just kind of doing like a raw run through here.
Yeah.
Hey, whose shackles are they?
Those.
Do you remember? Nistec. Okay, I thought they looked like Nistec. Unfortunately, Nistec's not around anymore, guys. But yep, they're Nistec. Yeah. So, all right, nice. So we got a little home build here.
IKEA.
This looks like IKEA. Yeah, I was gonna say. All right, so we got the IKEA.
My carpentry skills were not very good, so I was like, let's go to IKEA real quick.
Yeah, that's a way to go, man. It's a way to go.
Modified it a little bit, took the back and bottom panel off to save a little bit of weight.
Okay.
And then I put some L brackets kind of up here on the back side to stiffen it up a little bit.
Yep.
Okay. If you take the drawers all the way out, that's where the water tank is on the back side.
Oh, nice. Stuff the water tank on the back side of the cabinet. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Got the propane, and then this is these Molly panels. What is it? Heps Designs. That's right. Yeah, Heps Designs. I run those on my Xterra too. I super dig it. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Then what do we have on the side here? So I'm digging this kind of just suction cup mounted.
Recovery gear.
Okay.
So I just keep everything in there.
Oh, nice.
Easy access. I had 4 suction cups when I first did it.
Yep.
And then I just went and did 2 like hinge brackets on the top end. So if the cups come off, this case is not going to go tumbling down the road.
Yeah. So those hinge brackets are mounted here. I'm going to switch sides so I'm not getting blasted by the sun. So the hinge brackets. Oh, there we go.
To the roof rack.
So mounted to the roof rack.
I still have a bungee cable here just in case something fails, so the case doesn't go.
Oh, okay. Safety. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then the suction cups down below. That's a sick setup. That's nice.
Well, the suction cups have seen better days. They don't actually really hold very well anymore, but it just kind of keeps the case from vibrating too much.
Yep. Nice.
So I did do a diesel heater on the opposite side in the wintertime, but I do just suction cups with that one.
Got it. Okay, cool. And then how much solar is that up top?
300 watts of solar.
Okay.
If you want to see like all the brains and everything, that would be on the other side. I can show you that. But on this side we have, this is Denali's platform here. That's where she kind of hangs out.
Oh, nice.
And then this is our little faucet here.
Okay. So, yep. Nice. And just plumbed right in.
Yep.
Into the water. Yep. Cool. Oh, and the Milwaukee charger back there, or Craftsman. Yep. All right. Nice.
So slowly adding more accessories, like power accessories, since installing all the
there's your
stuff.
There's your interior power.
400 amp hours of lithium.
400 amp hours.
Yep.
Nice. And I like how you tucked it up into the front. I think so many people, they don't think about when they're wheeling, where's the weight distribution? Everything's out back and it's just does not perform well.
Yeah.
Anything you can move to the middle of the truck is so great.
Yeah, and when I originally started like designing this platform, because I just installed the system pretty recently, so I installed this whole platform stuff like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And I had it all planned out because I knew I was going to install this setup eventually, and I knew the footwells would be a perfect place to hold each battery. So
yeah, heck yeah.
It kind of fits in there perfectly. I was a little nervous how long they were, but they kind of fit right in there and like snug right up against that little hump in the middle for the the drive line and everything underneath. So, and then,
Sweet. Yeah, let's see the brains.
okay. On this side. Everything's just mounted right to the back side of the fridge.
So there's the other battery
Yep.
right there. Okay. Oh yeah, nice. 2,000 watts. Wow.
So we have enough power to run an induction cooktop.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
that's what I do most of my cooking on now.
Oh, induction cooktop instead of propane.
Yeah.
Nice. It's not a bad way to go.
It's
You know.
been really nice, and when I tested it, when I first installed everything, I was like, I need to make sure like I've got enough power to do what I need to do and make sure it doesn't trip anything.
Right.
So I boiled a gallon of water for like 15 minutes. I had the induction top at full power, so it was pulling like 1,800 watts.
Yep.
And I still had like almost 4 hours of battery life.
Heck yeah.
So
So
never gonna really be doing that much
say it for
power,
me
but
again. How much wattage up top?
300 watts.
300 watts, and then how many amp hours? Was it 400?
400.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. And then a 2,000 watt inverter.
Yep.
Sick.
And then we get the alternator charging as well.
Yep.
I have this little screen up front. It kind of allows me to monitor everything while I'm driving. So right now it's solar charging right now, and then
Nice.
total percentage and everything. Too,
Okay.
So
Heck yeah.
makes it nice
Heck
and
yeah.
easy to keep track of everything. And then there's also Bluetooth connectivity
Okay.
to everything, so you can connect to an app.
Oh,
It'll
heck
give
yeah.
you more information and stuff like that. You can change parameters and
Okay.
that kind of thing.
All right. And then since I caught you, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yeah.
Is the front differential swap too? It's
Yes.
not the. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you got the Titan diff as
Yep,
well.
205.
205. Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then you've got your co-pilot here.
Yes, my navigator. and my
What up,
security
navigator and security system? All right, so I got to get the back bumper for everybody right quick. And then if you don't mind, can I poke in on the driver's side and just like grab a quick view of
Absolutely.
the, okay, cool.
Yeah. If you have any questions about that, because I've added a bunch of stuff to it, more so than what normally people have.
Yeah,
And I just kind of made it work.
I dig it. I dig it.
with
Yeah.
everything, so-
I noticed with the chainsaw and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the Max Tracks, right? That's easy.
Yeah.
Attachment with, we got to get you some perfect bungees actually, because
I know.
the perfect bungee,
Does it hold those pretty
dude,
well?
it holds us so well.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, it's
Okay.
crazy. Yep.
'Cause
And
I always have issues, like this ratchet strap is so old.
well, yeah, they just starting to die.
And
Yeah.
sometimes getting it to break free is like, I'm
Oh.
sitting there like cranking on it.
Yeah.
Trying to get it to snap.
I'll go talk to the guys. We'll get
Okay.
you a pack of perfect bungees because yeah, that's how I hold my shovel on
Okay.
Conius,
Yeah.
and it just and they don't fade. It's amazing.
Nice,
So you get the high lift, of course, and then wow, Starlink rocking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that, with the power setup, that's running 24/7.
Okay.
I don't ever really turn that off.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
don't need to leave it on all the time. It's just easier to leave it on.
And I dig the
This bracket,
chainsaw.
Amazon.
Amazon.
Amazon. It's
Okay.
designed for an ATV,
Yeah.
and I just kind of cut it a little bit to fit what I needed.
Yep.
And I put it on when we did our Christmas tree cut down this year.
All right.
I don't want to put it inside the truck.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so we put that on there, and
Nice.
it's been really great. Like it's just a friction lock, so you just loosen it.
Yeah,
from
it just
there, then
tightens
it just
and-
slides right out.
Oh, so its plastic case stays in, and then it comes right out of its plastic case. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so super nice. And then you can tell it's old, so it's leaking stuff. But
Yep.
that way it's not leaking inside the truck.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, when we went to Alaska and Oregon, we brought electric chainsaw. Freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And with how much electric you have going on this thing,
Yeah.
you could keep one battery charged and one battery going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. So that's you should look at that if if you care
Yeah,
about.
I was looking at the still
the-
electric one,
Yep.
and I was gonna buy it before that trip, and then I just I'll save the money and
Yeah.
put it towards the gas bill and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So,
All right, sweet. Let me. Is it unlocked? Can I
yeah,
can I
it's
check the
unlocked.
cockpit there?
I think I got some stuff in the front seat, but
Yeah, grab whatever you need to grab, and I just want to give everybody a view of kind of what you're looking at.
so a little messy right now, but
Yeah, well, we're all out here at Expo West, so we're like living out of
Yeah.
them and doing all the stuff. Okay, cool. So, wow, no shortage of stuff here. Okay, scan gauge, love the scan gauge. I run a scan gauge 2, which
Yeah.
is the smaller version, but then the S Pod, I've used that in a lot of builds. That's a nice setup.
yeah.
Oh, and you have the e-locker set up. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, instead of the ARB. All right, let's get a little view of that. How have you liked it? Has it been?
It's been really solid.
Solid? Yeah. Okay.
There was an issue with the first generation where the spider gears weren't locking in place.
Yeah.
And the CVs would slip out.
Okay.
Since it fixed that, so since then
it's been good to go.
Really
nice.
solid.
Yeah, I saw that company kind of pop out, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So.
That's really the only product I've run from them.
Okay.
But I've been really happy with it. Like,
nice.
I haven't had any issues with it, not engaging quickly or disengaging or anything like that. So.
Sweet. Yeah, that's some of the most annoying thing with the e-lockers is certain companies, they don't want to work, and when you need them to work, you need them to work.
Right.
So, all right, dig the molly panel, and then the hey, I don't want you around here button right there.
Yeah,
I like that.
Have a little more firepower
Yeah, I dig that too. The quick access. I haven't seen it mounted here before.
Yeah.
I've seen it mounted down here. There's a company called, gosh, what's the name of it? Something Desert, Easy Does It Desert or something, and they make a little bracket that goes across there, and then you can attach it.
Yeah.
We've done that on one of our builds, and that's pretty cool. Desert Does It. That's the name of the company.
Yeah, this little thing is pretty nifty because it kind of detaches, and then
oh,
I still have a holster.
Sick!
And
Yeah.
I have like an outside the waistband where I can just kind of clip it.
Yep.
If I wanted to.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I have that, and then.
Okay. Sweet.
I have another outside the waistband holster that I actually like a little bit better, so I usually just leave that one there now.
Okay. Nice.
That's an Alien Gear hard mount.
Yep.
And then I have Innovator Concepts outside the waistband that I usually do with camping.
Yeah.
And then I also have a chest rig that I'll wear.
Okay.
As well.
Nice.
And what we're doing.
I know we like instantly bonded over being Nissans. You're a Glock guy. I mean, we're gonna let that slide, but no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
We're trying to build the collection up a little bit. So, that was a cheap gun when I bought it. So
yep.
It works. So.
No worries. I'm just messing with you. All right. So the RAM mount. Yep. I know that's the thing with the Xterras. We were talking earlier. Is there's not a lot of support, so a lot of this stuff you just end up making work with.
Well, yeah, and I had so many issues with suction cup mounts.
Yeah.
So I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna drill right into the plastics, and I'm not getting rid of this thing. So.
Yep, exactly.
I just don't want it to fall off.
Make it work the way you need it to work.
Off, so.
Yep.
I'm happy.
I dig it. Okay, so then you got the iPad that's running, I imagine, your navigation, and then you have the Garmin, of course, which is an interesting thought. We've all been chatting. And then the level, nice. Yeah. We've been chatting about the Garmin thing because with the iPhones now doing the satellite messaging, it's kind of like, well, do you keep it? Do you not?
I got that before that was even a thing.
Yeah, same.
But it's still nice to have the search and rescue feature to it. So if something does happen, and I pay for like the insurance to have that. So I think you get like $150,000 worth of insurance for search and rescue, which is pretty nice because if you didn't have that, it'd be very expensive.
Oh, it can add up quick, yeah.
So,
well, sweet, man. It's an awesome build. It was super cool to see another Nissan out here. So I didn't expect you to be here, but thanks for swinging by so we could get a little more insight about it.
Sure.
All right, the other baddest Nissan at Overland Expo West. Yours truly on Conius. So I'm gonna give you a little walkthrough. There is a full walk around video of this on our channel, but there's been some upgrades. So here we go from the front. So running just a Smitty built winch there, factor 55. I always get comments about needing to upgrade this one because it's all scraped up, but that's that's part of the fun. I mean, this scrape was in Moab, this scrape was in Sand Hollow, like it's character, so got to keep it there. Underneath, this is all Chevy 1-ton steering, factory steering box, and then we have the Dana 44 out of an 86 Grand Wagoneer, and hydro assist with the PSC steering ram there, or hydraulic thingamadoodad. I'm blanking on the name at the moment. And then we have this is the Cal Mini setup. So it's just the Cal Mini, the Fox 2.0s that they suggest for that kit. And then underneath I've added some air bumps, some Fox air bumps. And then I'm gonna swing around to this side here. And this kit's been modified so that it doesn't bind and break. From Calmini, it mounts right there, but this is a Rubicon Express piece here that allows for more articulation without binding. In the differential, we have 513 gears and a ARB air locker. And then I've plumbed the air locker to vent out here. Same problem everybody I think has with the ARBs. They seem to just seep oil. I've replaced the seals and they just always seep a little bit out. So we vent it out here so it just kind of sprays out. And then slick little setup here, running the air chock or air plug for airing up right out to there, so I don't have to pop the hood. And then right now running the General Grabber X3s, 35 by 12.5 on Steelies, and I like these tires. They've worked really well. I've never had Generals before. I bought them because my usual KM3s weren't available at the time. It was during all the COVID stuff, and I dig them. They seem to do really well, so I don't think I'll be going back to BFGs. Have the Warren hubs there. Then we have the AirTech snorkel. I think it's actually a snorkel for, you can get it from 4x4parts.com. It's for, gosh, what's it for? It's not for a Nissan Xterra. Might be for a Pathfinder, but you can find it on their website, and fits perfect. And then running the snorkel upgrade, little vent there, and this helps to basically try to use a circumferential force to throw dirt out as opposed to as much getting sucked into your air filter. And then up top, custom aluminum roof rack, and then I mount the Action Tracks or Max Tracks under here, and then Aurora light bars across the top, one pointing straight down the middle and two slightly pointed out to the side. I use a kind of minimalist approach when it comes to lighting. I don't need a ton of light per se. So then up top right now, run the shift pod. This is very modular, so I could put the CVT rooftop 10 up here, can have the small shift pod up here, the big shift pod up here. Just depends on if I'm going with the whole family or not. And then the bungees, pretty much use bungees to hold everything these days. It's the perfect bungee. This is their 42-inch version with the new hook system. So this hook can actually come off and move to different spots along. UV resistant. We get people asking all the time, oh, how's it hold up to the sun? I'm from the Southwest. Holds up, no problem.
Let's hold right here because there's one thing I forgot to talk about on the roof rack, and that is this track you see at the bottom of the frame. That is for a Dragonfly tarps setup. And on this rig for years now, we have been running the Dragonfly tarp setup as opposed to an awning, and it is the best of both worlds in our opinion. It stuffs away in the truck, so it's out of the way when you're on the trail. And then when you need it, you can set it up. And we have had it in some extreme wind conditions and rain, and it holds up great. You can watch a full video of that on our YouTube channel.
They don't break down. Have the WeatherTech air vents, wind deflectors. I love these things. I like to roll with the window down. Slider, pretty much run white knuckle on everything. And as you can see, they've been put through their paces. This truck's been through Rubicon, John Bull, Trifecta out in Moab. Like it's pretty much done it all. Have the Calmini skid underneath. And then in the transfer case, there are crawler gears. So the crawler gears from 4x4 parts, and then just the factory rear differential. Put in an anti-rock. Pretty much had to do that with the overlanding type stuff we do. So just ran it through the frame there, across the frame on the other side. And then I'll show you down here. just attached down to the axle right there. And then I have Fox shocks in the back, had them tuned by AccuTune. They've worked just fine. Then this is just a custom shackle. The original shackle I had just didn't have this gusseting in between, and it was just too flimsy, so did that. And then custom Alcan leaf pack. You can probably call and get it built the same way mine is built, but it's plus 700 pounds over factory. And so with the weight, that's kind of what I need to do. This feels much more stable with that. You know, the plus 300 that I started with just wasn't enough for what we were doing. Have a Schrockworks rear bumper. I believe they're out of business now, so you have to find that used, but it's a great bumper. I just have on the tire just this little setup here. I forget the company, but it basically can hold a can, Rotopax can on both sides. And then on the back, swing around real quick, just run a trasharoo. Have my shovel held on by the perfect bungee. And then inside here, again, this is it can change depending on what we're doing. Right now, it's just me out here at Overland Expo West, so I don't need too much. But we have the cooler just down to the factory tie down points, held in with the perfect bungee. This is my kitchen bin, and then this is my recovery gear. Again, just all strapped in with the perfect bungee. I made this net up top. Actually, my mom made it, but made this net up top, and it's just tied into the factory attachments up top. And it's just my stuff area. So puffer jacket goes up there, rain jacket, extra layers, that kind of thing. We have the Heps Design Molly panel right here, just mounts into the factory plastic. Awesome setup, run this for a long time. Keep my air hose here, rescue mask. There's road flares in here, and then a tourniquet right there. Of course, the koozie for when it's happy hour. And then I've got just, what is it in here? It's like some, I don't remember, let's see. Oh yeah, some paracord. So, cool setup. If you have a Xterra, definitely check into that. It's nice to use the storage here. I don't use it on this side because I do want to have like that increased visibility, but I'm not going to be looking out this window as the driver anyway, so I have no problem with it being fully obstructed. Take a quick look up in front from the driver's seat here. It's a little bit of a mess because again, we've been out at Overland Expo. I just run this kind of generic holder here for the cell phone. Again, I go very minimalistic. This just attaches down to where the chair attaches, and that's my nav. It's my navigation, it's my communications, all of that. Attached a Rogue Overland Molly bag right there, just right into the plastic with some big washers behind it. Works great for kind of stuffing beanies and things like that. Up top, I forget the name of this company. It's for a Tacoma, something like Bird Dog Technology or something like that, but that hooks to the rear view mirror spot. And then I have RAM mounts just attaching my ICOM ham radio. And then I use the aux beam in this particular rig. I use the aux beam for powering things, and I've just moved over to this from the analog switches because when I originally built this truck, it was all, you know, one switch, one relay, one switch, one relay. So I haven't had time to fully wire everything in, but compressor, front locker, rear locker, front locker. And then I do have rock lights on the bottom, and those are the Lux rock lights. They're the magnetic ones. They work great. And then I just have the radio mounted there, and then run a scan gauge too to kind of have some information about what's going on. And then the Cocapelli, that keeps me safe during my travels. I'll show you under the hood real quick because we've got a pretty sweet little mount for the compressor, and that'll pretty much wrap it up. So, factory engine, 3.3 liter. The aux beam setup is there. PSC. reservoir there. Running these batteries here, these X2 power batteries. They've been great. Haven't had any problems with it. Oh, this was an Amazon find. This is actually, what's the brand? Spawn, S-P-A-W-O-N, aluminum triple core radiator. Most people upgrade to the supercharged radiator, but this one's even bigger than that. And it pretty much fit in perfect. I just had to shave a little bit off of this mount here to make it work. Okay. And then this is super clean. Mike, owner of the little black Toyota, he's the one that made this bracket. We just mounted here, and that's the ARB twin compressor, the little reservoir, and then the actuators for the air lockers. So there it is. On Conius 2001, solid axle swapped Nissan Xterra, hanging out here in the perfect bungee booth at Overland Expo West.
Copyright Rogue Overland 2025, all rights reserved.